Canada may not have started the trade war, but they're well on their way to winning it, led by Prime Minister, not Governor, Trudeau, and people like the head of Ontario, Doug Ford. Both of them have said in no uncertain terms that they are going to fight back against Donald Trump, that they will never succumb. They will always fight. They will never allow Donald Trump to destabilize Canada so that he can take it over and make it the 51st state. There's Canadian pride at stake. And more importantly, as Doug Ford reminded the world, and Donald Trump particularly, he will take special glee with a smile on his face and cut the fuel supply between the power grid in Canada and the amount of electricity and fuel that's supplied to our American factories. And he will take special delight in doing it as a retaliation against Donald Trump. I'm Michael Popok. You're on Legal AF. Let's focus on Canada in a way that we never really have before. You have over $900 billion worth of imports coming from Canada. The vast majority of them fuel our own economy, literally. The fuel, the electricity, the power that we obtain from Canada is used for our own factories and our own major states and their economy. Where do you think New York and Michigan and Minnesota get a lot of their power from? They get it from Canada. They get it from Ontario. Now, I've been so impressed by Prime Minister Trudeau. I think they should run that election again. And I think if they ran that election again, I think he stays in office. By the way, he's rising to the moment. Sometimes the moment makes the man or the man makes the moment. He is not shrinking under the Klieg lights. He's shining. What do they say? Pressure either makes a diamond or dust. We're watching a diamond in how the leadership of Prime Minister Trudeau. Here's a clip of how he fired back at a press conference today at Donald Trump and the tariff war.
This is a trade war, yes. But Canadians are hurt. Canadians are angry. We're going to choose to not go on vacation in Florida or Old Orchard Beach or wherever. We're going to choose to try to buy Canadian products and forego bourbon and other classic American products. And we're probably going to keep booing the American anthem. But let me tell Americans, we're not booing you. We're not booing your teams. We're not booing your players. We're booing a policy that is designed to hurt us. And we're insulted. And we're angry. But we're Canadian, which means we're going to stand up for each other. We're going to fight. And we're going to win.
Now let's set this straight. Canada is the 9th largest economy in the world. No small measure there, okay? It's over $1 trillion economic value. It will never, in my lifetime, in any lifetime, be a part of the United States of America. And Donald Trump trolling Trudeau in social media like he's a fourth grader. No, a fourth grader would do a better job. That's an insult to fourth graders everywhere. And saying, Governor Trudeau, if you fire back at us, we're going to raise the tariffs at you. Yeah, that is the very definition of a losing, mutual assured destruction tariff war. If you listen to Warren Buffett, and why shouldn't he? He's made every right decision about the economy and investment for the last 50 years or more. He's 94. He's still cooking. And during a recent interview, he said, trade war? That's just acts of war. Why would we ever do that? Why would we ever stop free trade since America has as its competitive and economic advantage the ability to generate more products, goods, and services than any other country? Why would we put a limit on its outlets, the markets that it can supply to, that it can provide to? And why would any person in their right mind, you know where this is going, pick a fight with Canada of all countries and Mexico? You want to put together a North American Free Trade Act number 2? You want to figure out a way to cohesively and collaboratively do bilateral and trilateral trade in the Northern Hemisphere? In North America, let's do it. But to try to destabilize Canada, destabilize Mexico, first of all, you're not destabilizing Mexico. I mean, if they weren't in love with Claudia Sheinbaum before, they are now. And I suggest that if the Canadians had an opportunity to vote again, I think Prime Minister Trudeau likely, just based on how he's standing up to the bully and he's bullying the bully, how he's doing this now, this profile of courage and character, I think he gets elected again. I really do. He should not shrink from public office. He's too young, he's too vibrant, he's too important, I think, to the world for him to not find a way to get back into leadership again. But for now, he's fighting it out. Doug Ford, who we love here on the Midas Touch Network and on Legal AF, Doug Ford, who runs Ontario, which is the largest province, and is the fuel supply, if you will, for much of North America and the U.S., said he'll take a special delight and glee with a smile on his face to cut the power cord. Here's a clip from him.
Well, these are a couple of things that I'm responsible for as a province. The federal government's leading the charge. The communication has been fabulous with the PM and the government as well. I said, number one, I don't start a tariff war, but we're going to win this tariff war. Right off the hop, I've directed the LCBO, we're the largest purchaser of alcohol in the world, to remove every bit of U.S. alcohol off the shelves. I know my good friend, the governor of Kentucky, he's losing his mind right now. I said, you better talk to your president. Mitch McConnell, senior senator from Kentucky, they're losing their mind. We purchase over $1 billion of alcohol, 3,600 products, 35 states. It's going to hit them. We call them the kitchen table issues. Then we're going to cancel Starlinks right away from Elon Musk. Not that $100 million makes a difference for him, but it's principle. I've directed the procurement of over $30 billion of goods, not to go to the U.S., to make sure we buy Ontario first. And if we can't find it in Ontario and we can't build it in Ontario, we go across the country. We have 51 tariff-free agreements with countries around the world. We're going to diversify our trade. If they want to try to annihilate Ontario, I will do everything, including cut off their energy, with a smile on my face. And I'm encouraging every other province to do the same. Quebec, Manitoba, BC, we all have to act in unison. Out east, they rely on our energy. They need to feel the pain. They want to come at us hard. We're going to come back twice as hard.
So what do we make of this? I did an earlier hot take about China and the reasons why somebody in their right mind would never enter into a trade war with China. Yeah, especially now when we need the Chinese markets for agriculture. There's no other way around it. If you're a farmer and you voted for Donald Trump, you got to be wanting your vote back now. You have voter remorse, because you're about to have your industry completely decimated by Donald Trump in less than 40 days in office. I've never seen such a thing in my life. It's one thing to kind of pass new policies and have new policies because you think you won some sort of mandate and you want to change things up from the last administration. It's another thing, again, to completely turn over the table of the world and U.S. economy all in a single 30 or 40-day period and expect the American consumer to have confidence in your stewardship, the world and the world leaders to have confidence in America's leadership, and not respond and retaliate against this trade war. Donald Trump, plain and simple, is bringing the world together against and opposed to America and America's interests. We can't go it alone, okay? I know Donald Trump says we got this big, beautiful ocean between us and problems. Really? How did that work in World War II? Planes cross oceans, intercontinental ballistic missiles cross oceans, all right? Our economy is dependent on our ability to supply markets like China, India, since Russia's been cut off. It used to be a big trading partner, or at least we sent a lot of our agriculture to Russia, and we got to continue to do it. So hats off, kudos, warm embrace. I understand you. I hear you. I know when I hear booing by Canadians, they're not booing me personally. And it's going to hurt the American economy. I lived in areas and live in areas where Canadians flocked for years for tourism. They have canceled their trips in record numbers. They're not coming to Florida. They're not coming to Disney World and Disneyland. They're going to other places because they are proud Canadians. And why would you ever pick a fight with somebody and their culture and their patriotism and what makes them Canadian? I just don't understand it. This juvenile, sophomoric trolling of Donald Trump while Americans suffer under his failing policies. I'll continue to follow it all. You're here on Legal AF. Hit the YouTube channel. Sorry, you're here on Legal AF YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button. It's been a long day, folks. Sorry. Stays in the pod. And help us continue our march to 500,000 subscribers before our 6-month birthday. And that's in about a week. So we're almost there. Really appreciate each and every one of you and all things Legal AF here and Legal AF, the podcast on the Midas Touch Network, Wednesdays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. New show for me, Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Midas Touch Network. I call it Popok Live for a reason. Join me. New podcast, Popok Live, Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube and then on future audio podcast platforms also. So until my next reporting and next recording, I'm Michael Popok. I'm Michael Popok, and I got some big news for our audience. Most of you know me as the co-founder of Midas Touch's Legal AF and the Legal AF YouTube channel, or as a 35-year national trial lawyer. Now, building on what we started together on Legal AF, I've launched a new law firm, the Popok Firm, dedicated to obtaining justice through compassionate and zealous legal representation. At the Popok Firm, we are focused on obtaining justice for those who have been injured or damaged by a life-altering event by securing the highest dollar recoveries. I've been tirelessly fighting for justice for the last 35 years, so my own law firm organically building on my Legal AF work just feels right. And I've handpicked a team of top-tier trial fighters and settlement experts throughout all 50 states known as big auto injury attorneys who have the know-how to beat heartless insurance companies, corporations, government entities, and their attorneys. Big Auto's attorneys working with my firm are rock stars in their respective states and collectively responsible for billions of dollars in recoveries. So if you or a loved one have been on the wrong side of a catastrophic auto, motor vehicle, rideshare, or truck accident, suffered a personal injury, or been the victim of medical malpractice, employment harassment or discrimination, or suffered a violation of your civil and constitutional rights, then contact the Popok Firm today at 1-877-POPOK-AF or by visiting my website at www.thepopokfirm.com and fill out a free case evaluation form. And if we determine that you have a case and you sign with us, we don't get paid unless you do. The Popok Firm, fighting for your justice every step of the way.